Okay, I'm still setting up. I lost my train of thought and forgot what I was doing. This is what I'm doing. Okay, where's my notebook at? I really need some new glasses. This is a lot. This is a whole lot what we're going to be talking about today. It's long overdue, but I'm ready. Let's do it. Welcome back to that. Welcome back to that. Okay. Okay. All right. So, let me get myself together because I'm all over the place. Wait, hold on. One more thing before I do anything else. Because the last thing I need is for this damn computer to do some stupid stuff. Like play something blaringly loud and unnecessary. Okay, I still need to see. Okay, I'm ready now. Now I'm ready. Let's do it. Coming to you live from Music City, USA, aka Nashville, Tennessee. This is the ALLAnal podcast with Sebastian Starr. I am your host, Sebastian Starr. And finally, after a long and grueling hiatus period, I'm ready to dive back in to a couple of things. The biggest thing being, obviously, what some are dubbing and declaring the biggest album of the year. And we're only in March. Is Hurry Up Tomorrow by The Weeknd. Obviously, I have to talk about The Weeknd because, one, he's my favorite artist. And two, this is supposedly the final album that The Weeknd is doing as The Weeknd before he turns a new leaf, transitions into Abel, which is his real name, and becomes, I guess, a rebranded artist. I'm not even sure what the next move is career-wise for him, despite the fact that I've talked about him extensively and done all this research and listened to all of his music and follow up on all of his stuff. I don't know what this man does in his free time. I'm not on his PR team. You know, I don't know what his next move is. I'm just here as a spectating. But again, this is long overdue. This album has been out for well over a month. It was released at the end of January of this year. And honestly, I have been listening to it nonstop since then. I was extremely biased and very, very worried that it wasn't going to live up to the hype behind, Dawn FM and After Hours, which After Hours is still to date my favorite album by The Weeknd. And unbeknownst to me, This album, Hurry Up Tomorrow, concludes the second trilogy that he's created amongst his discography and his career, which I do want to touch on the original trilogy, but we'll cross that bridge here in just a second. So in regards to the album itself, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Again, I was worried that it wasn't going to live up to the hype. I was terrified that it was just not going to be the finale that we, his fans, needed from him after what he's been out since 2011. So we're well over 10 years into the investment of this guy. And I was just worried, oh, this is his final album. Like, is it even going to be good? And of course, my expectations were exceeded because this album is amazing. It's 22 tracks long. 2 tracks are just really quick snippets. They're, less than 15 seconds long, and they're kind of transition songs, and they happen right at the very beginning of the album. And I think that kind of really emphasizes his storytelling capabilities by putting these little snippets in here, because one, a 15-second snippet isn't necessary in a song, in an album, right? But it's what they are that kind of helps set the tone for what the rest of the album, what the story being told is going to be. So then you have to ask them, okay, well, what's the story? Well, without giving too much away, and again, I don't know, this is just me speculating, there is a movie associated with this album that comes out this summer. It's called Hurry Up Tomorrow. It stars Jenna Ortega, of course, The Weeknd. And it's about this, it's like a psychological thriller about an artist who has a journey on an odyssey with someone who's supposed to be taking him, beyond the reality realm or something like that. It's pretty weird. I'm not even going to hold you. It looks good, but it does also look like something's going to be very confusing and that you have to pay attention to from start to finish. Otherwise, you're not going to know what's going on. So when you think about the story, I feel like if you're talking about a trilogy, so for example, you got the Spider-Man trilogies, you got the Jurassic Park trilogies, you got any kind of horror movie trilogies, whatever, you always have to consider where the story started versus where the story ends in regards to all 3 parts of the trilogy. That's how it makes sense. That's why it works. So if you start back with After Hours, which dropped in 2020, that story was about a character, a man who is kind of in this realm of the state of mind, rather, of, just being out of it. He's completely out of his mind. He's lost it. He's slowly, spiraling into madness. He's wandering around unsupervised, and he doesn't really know what's going on or why anything is happening. He just finds himself bearing deeper and deeper and deeper into a rabbit hole that he can't really get out of. And that's terrifying. By the end of After Hours, that character dies. It becomes like a tragic, horrific ending. And then you transition into Dawn FM. Now, what's the story in Dawn FM? Well, Dawn FM is like that purgatory. It's like between life and death. The character has now evolved into an afterlife type of scenario, but it's not really the afterlife. He's not there yet. So the entire Dawn FM album is about the same character kind of going through purgatory and trying to figure out where his life took him and where his afterlife is currently trying to get him to. The destination, the final destination, no pun intended. And so with that, and you have a beautiful, and I want to talk about this too, you have this beautiful transition from each song's, the final song in each album, and then the first song of the album following it. So once we get through Purgatory, we get through Dawn FM, then we're at Hurry Up Tomorrow. Now, the way Hurry Up Tomorrow opens is very ghostly. It's very eerie. It's very creepy. It's very spooky because you really don't know, because now you're at the end, right? You're at the finish line. You've been through Purgatory. You've been through hell. So now what happens? Well, this is the afterlife. This is where you're supposed to be. And what does that look like for you? It's chaotic. It's a lot going on. There's so much madness and destruction and desperation. Your demons are kind of starting to unravel themselves a little bit, right? They're starting to, open up a little bit more about what your life was and now where your afterlife is and what that means for you. And the beautiful thing about all of this, which, oh my God, the beautiful thing about this is when Hurry Up Tomorrow ends, the final song in Hurry Up Tomorrow, which is called Hurry Up Tomorrow, that transition, and it's very, very faint. It's very, very, you really got to be listening for it. That transition fades out very, very gracefully, very, very slowly. And then it very, very delicately, intricately trickles in to the intro of his first song from his first trilogy album, High for This. And it's it's like a life cycle, right? So you start with the OG trilogy, which is House of Balloons, Thursday, Echoes of Silence. That was the 3 mixtapes that he released back in 2011 when he completely perfected the personification of The Weeknd and became The Weeknd. That was back in 2011. You go through this nightmarish, ghoulish world. This idea of just like hardcore drugs, partying, drinking, women, sex, violence, being out until the wee hours of the morning, sleeping all day, this destructive, chaotic, young, dumb nigga behavior. Because that's what he was. And you take that, you carry all of that with you. You carry it with you for years. And then you proceed into his other discographies. You go into Kissland, you go into Starboy, you go into My Dear Melancholy, you go into Beauty Behind the Madness. You go into all of these other phases, these different eras in his life. And then he gets to a point in After Hours where he realizes that all of that chaoticness, all of that psychoticness, all of that uncontrollable dumb shit fuckery has to come to an end at some point. So you get to After Hours, and this is where that persona, that lifestyle ends. After Hours takes place in Las Vegas, Sin City. And he, says it a million times. This album was inspired by the city, was inspired by all the things that I've done while I was here. And you realize that I can't keep doing this shit anymore. I have to stop. So you stop. You die. You go into purgatory. You're recapping your entire life and where it took you and how you got here. And then you get to the afterlife. And you're like, okay, I deserve whatever comes next. And what comes next is just chaos, 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 madness, 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 terror, 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 fear, fear, fear. And then by the end of it, you've accepted it. You've embraced it. You've gained control of yourself through it. And then you find yourself right back at the very beginning, ready to do it all over again. It's the most insane way to say goodbye to a persona that you've had for over a decade. And it goes over people's heads because it's just music to some people, right? But when you really break down the artistry, and he's very cinematic. The Weeknd is a very cinematic. He said that plenty of times before in interviews and things like that. He is very much inspired by cinema. Not just movies, but like plot-driven stories and visual effects and how these things can make you think and make you feel and the reactions that you get. All of that plays a role into what he does and how he does it. That's why everything is so strategic. So when you really look at it from that perspective, it truly is art in a sense that you have to really think about what's being done. And unless you followed his career for as long as I have or any other devoted fan has, you're probably not going to pick that up right away. And that's okay, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to explain. So with that being the story of, the old trilogy versus the new trilogy, kind of sort of in a nutshell, just to give you a bit of context, I now want to talk about the album itself. So I have my top 5, which... man, oh man, I cannot. Oh my God. So, but my top 5 songs from this album. In no particular order. This is just the order that they come on the track list. We have Cry For Me, Baptized in Fear, Niagara Falls, Drive, and Red Terror. Now, I'm going to dissect all 5 of these songs for you really, really quickly, starting with Cry For Me. This song gets me in my heart of hearts and soul of souls and spirit of spirits because it's so passionate and emotional. I can't really explain it any other way. So the music, first of all, the music is very much, again, you're in hell, basically, right? That's where we ended up after Purgatory. Purgatory is already hell, but now you're in like hell, fighting demons and shit. So the music is very chaotic. It's very erupting. It's very loud, and it's very like electrifying. I think that's a good word to describe it. The first verse. This isn't sponsored, but I am saying that I'm using Genius.com for the lyrics because I trust Genius. I don't really trust any other site with lyrics, and most of them get it wrong anyway. And I'm not using the pre-generated analytical perspective that Genius provides. I'm trying to do my own version of that, so bear with me. And I'm laughing because I can't get over these lyrics. So, the first verse, he says, I can feel it. Girl, pick up your phone. I can't believe it. I can feel it in my spirit slowly leaving. I can't see myself and I'm not breathing. Slowly bleeding. I wish that I told you all my feelings. I hope that I live a life for a reason, but at least you'll play this song when I'm gone. Good googly moogly. See, okay, so let's start from the tippy top. I can feel it, girl, pick up your phone. I can't believe it. I can feel my spirit slowly leaving. So you've come to a conclusion. You've had an epiphany. You made a realization that something is terribly, terribly wrong. You can feel it in your gut. You can feel it in your soul. Something's not right. I need to talk to you ASAP. Get on the phone right now. I can't see myself and I'm not breathing. I'm panicking. You're making me panic. I'm panicked. I'm scared. Slowly bleeding. I'm dying. I'm groveling. I'm exhausting myself. Please. You know what I'm saying? I wish that I had told you all my feelings. Deep regret. Deep, profound regret. Okay? I hope that I live a life for a reason, but at least you'll play this song when I'm gone. Now I'm suicidal. Now I'm over it. Now I'm just like, what good is there? There's nothing else to live for. I'm over. You know what I mean? Desperation, toxic, which is his entire, he's an Aquarius, so of course he's toxic as hell, right? But this is another level. This is another level of toxicity that I can't fathom. Anyway, we're getting into the chorus, which really, the chorus of this song is what particularly touches my heart of hearts and soul of souls. He says, and I hope you cry for me like I cry for you. Every night for you. Take it easy on me, baby, because I tried with you. Saw my life with you. End of time with you. Now we're strangers, and I hope that you still cry for me like I cry for you. Every night for you. I've been living with this lie. Now I can't hide the truth. I can't hide the truth. Girl, I'll cry for you. Girl, I'll cry for you. And I mean when I say God dig it a damn. So he says, I hope you cried for me like I cried for you. Every night for you. Take it easy on me because I tried. I did everything that I could. I gave you everything. I saw my life with you. The end of time with you. I wanted to be in this with you until the ground beneath us turned into dust and blew away. Shout out to Omni-Man. I wanted to be in this with you forever and then forever after that. I saw my life with you, end of time with you, but now we're strangers? I just gave you everything that I had and now you won't even look at me? Like, come on, dude. I gave you everything. And now you won't even talk to me? Like, it breaks my heart. He said, I hope that you still cry for me like I cried for you every night for you. I've been living with this lie. Now I can't hide the truth. I've been in denial for a long, long time. I've been in denial for so long. I don't even know what the truth is anymore. But you slamming the door in my face, you doing what you did, you coming to me like this, like I never mattered and it didn't matter and our life together doesn't exist and we were never did and and it's just like why? How dare you? Who do you think you are coming at me like this? And it's so devastating when you really think about what that feels like internally, emotionally. And it's just like, oh my God. Okay, we're going on to the second verse. I'm getting distracted. The second verse. I can't see clear. I wash my fears with whiskey tears. So now you got me in my feelings. I'm drinking. I'm trying to drown my sorrows at this point. I disappear. Don't interfere. The end is near. The crowd will scream. I block my ears to stop the cheers. 'Cause the stage took a toll. Been faded on the floor in this penthouse prison. I'm alone. Let's just bear with me. Hold on. 'Cause let's get there. Let's find it. I can't see clear. I wash my fears with whiskey tears. I disappear. Don't interfere. The end is near. The crowd will cheer. The crowd will scream. I'm sorry. I need my glasses on. The crowd will scream. I block my ears to stop their cheers. 'Cause the stage took a toll. Been faded on the floor in this penthouse prison. I'm alone. It's too late for you to try anything. It's too late for you to make any more attempts. It's too late for you to reconcile, to change your mind, to try to go back on your word and do things different. Let's start out. No. You made your decision. You've made your decision. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing that I can say to change your mind. There's no way for me to come to terms with it other than accepting it for what it is. And it has broken me. I'm shattered. I'm distraught. I'm in pieces. And I still have this expectation. People still expect things from me. I still have to do my job. I still have to go out there and impress all of these people and do everything that they want me to do, despite the fact that I'm crumbling on the inside. And I hope you cry for me like I cry for you every night with you. Good googly moogly. Oh my goodness. And then we get to the bridge, which is technically the third verse, because it's just like right at the very end. He says, every time I hit the road, it takes a little piece of me, kills me slowly. When I needed you the most, you always gave me sympathy. Now you're over me. Now you're better on your own. It ain't a fucking mystery. You've been showing me. Now I've been burning up my home. So here's what you've done. Let me reiterate the damage that you've caused. I would go out to do my job, to work, to be this character, this guy. And every time I did, the real me, the underneath the surface me, the part of me that only you saw, that you interacted with, just kept getting chipped away. They just kept taking more and more. They kept taking every little piece that I took. I can't get it back. And whenever I came to you to discuss this with you, to let you know how I was feeling, you always let me know, you know what, hey, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't chip off of it. You're doing great. And now you won't even talk to me. You won't even talk to me. You're doing so much better without having my burden to carry, without having to worry about me as much as you had in the past, without having to think, oh my gosh, I hope he's okay. I wonder if he's, because you're not a fucking therapist, right? I didn't hire you to give me that type of reassurance. You gave it to me. But you got tired of giving it to me. You got tired of trying to make me feel better. You got tired of trying to fix me. And I hope you cry for me. And I hope you cry for me like I cried for you. You need to understand that I tried so hard. That I gave you everything that I could. That I did everything that I could. And you decided that you didn't want to keep trying. And I have to deal with that. And that just breaks my goddamn heart. It hurts my soul on a personal level. It's devastating. It's absolutely, I love this song. I love this song so much. It's so good. And then right after this song, if you're listening to the album from start to finish, top to bottom, the song that plays afterwards is called I Can't Fucking Sing. And this is one of those snippets, real quick, 15 seconds. And it's not even no lyrics. It's, oh my goodness. This, when I first heard this, I said, oh my God. So if you don't know, during his After Hours Till Dawn tour, he lost his voice at one of his 2 Los Angeles shows. And it was right at the very, very end of the tour. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty, down to the wire. And he gets up on stage. He tries to sing, but nothing comes out. He takes his mask off that he's wearing during the performance. He's looking out at the crowd, and there is a flush of devastation and pain on his face. And he looks like he's about to start crying, honestly. And then you hear the audience start to boo and get mad and get upset. And he's looking and he's listening and he's so pitiful. And he says into the microphone, you guys, I'm so sorry. My voice is gone. I can't sing for you tonight. I'm so sorry. And then he walks off stage. The audio that plays for this particular track, this transition track, this 10, 15 second track, is him backstage of said show, crashing out, screaming, it's my voice, I can't fucking sing. And you can hear it in his voice how angry he is, how disappointed in himself that he is. You got his team trying to calm him down. You know, it's not that. No, he's crashing out. And it only lasts for just a couple of seconds, but man, oh man, did that hurt my feelings. I felt so bad. I'm laughing not because it's funny. I'm laughing because I remember when that happened. I remember seeing the clips on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, people talking about it. And I was a little vindictive because I was like, what else did you get for not coming to Nashville in the first damn place? Fuck you. But then I heard that and I was like, oh my God. Like, my nigga was really crashing out in the back of the, you know what I mean? And it just is a nice little reminder that, you know, these musicians, these artists, they're human beings just like you and I. They have feelings, they have, you know, their own thought process of how things work. And at the end of the day, this is just their job. So when something goes wrong that they can't control and they have to disappoint millions of people at the exact same time, it's the most tragic thing that could happen to anybody, next to falling off the stage and breaking your neck probably. But anyway, I digress. That's a little fucked up. So we're going to move on. We're going to keep it pushing to song number 2 on my top 5, which is Baptized in Fear. This song is very, 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 very scary. It's like you get sleep paralysis, but in a bathtub. Humor me for just 1 second. The first verse, I fell asleep in the tub. I was met with paralysis. My foot hit the faucet. Water started flowing in. I couldn't scream for help. I just slowly felt the pressure hit. Moving one toe was the only form of motion left. I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know why. Can't breathe for air. Can't breathe. Trying to remember everything that my preacher said. Trying to right my wrongs, my regrets filling up my head. All this time I dodged death. This can't be the way it ends. Now that is petrifying. Because just imagine, you know, you feel this invisible pressure surrounding your entire body at the same time. Slowly starting to just build up. More pressure underneath you, on the side of you, on top of you, just closing you in like a box. It's movable. It's not pliable, but you can move in it, but you can't move your body. You're slowly starting to lose air. You're slowly starting to lose feeling. The only thing that you have left is whatever's going on in your head. And what's going on in your head is you've been a terrible person your entire life. You've made all of these mistakes. You have all of these regrets. You have so many things that have held you back or held you up from being this genuinely good person. And these were all choices and decisions that you made. And now you got to sit and just let that marinate for Lord knows how long until you're until you stop breathing. And it's so fucking scary. So we get to the pre-chorus. Oh, goodness gracious. The way he sings this is, oh my God, I want to hear this song live. He says, figure in the corner I can't quite see. I just know the shadows staring at me. It gets closer. It gets closer. It gets closer now. Figure in the corner laughing at me. Water fills my lungs, vision blurry, heartbeat slower, heartbeat slower, heartbeat slower. Now, obviously, I'm just reading this, but I'm singing it in my head. He sounds like a fucking angel singing this song. And it's so scary. Figure in the corner I can't quite see. There's something standing over there. I don't know what it is. I can't move. Remember that I can't move. I'm stuck in this bathtub filling up with water. There's something standing over there that I don't really know what it is. I can see it looking at me, though. At the very least, I can see it looking at me. And then it starts to creep up on me like prey on a predator on prey. And I still can't move. Now it's mocking me. Now it's teasing me. Now it's laughing at me. The pressure on my chest is starting to fill my body. My life is coming to an end. And this eerie, gray creature is just standing over me, just waiting for my life to end. What? The fuck do you mean? Like, it's the scariest thing in the world. And then the chorus is just this one line repeated over and over again. Voices will tell me that I should carry on. Voices will tell me that I should carry on. My nigga, what? Just accept it. Just come to terms with it. This is where it ends for you right here, right now, sir. This is where it ends for you right here, right now. Just accept it. It says bridge, but I'm calling it the second verse. I've been baptized in fear, my dear. I've been the chief of sin, washing my soul within. I've been baptized in fear, my dear. Like Paul, I'm the chief of sin, washing my soul within. So you are completely submerged. I'm not in view. I'm sorry. So you are now completely submerged in this fictional, metaphorical, literal bathtub filling up with water. And your outsides have been completely submerged. Your insides are starting to completely fill. You're equating it to the amount of sin that you've enacted during your time on earth. You deserve what's happening to you. This is all deserved. Everything that's happening to you is what you deserve. Tell me that's not the most fucked up thing you ever heard. And it's beautifully sung. The music, it slows down very, very dramatically at this point. And it's so, again, it's very emotionally set. It's very grounded. So back when I was mentioning, that metaphoric sense of being in hell, this is what hell looks like for him. Having to deal with everything that you've done throughout your entire life, catching back up with you in the worst way you could possibly imagine. Drowning in your own bathtub? Could you fucking imagine? I can't. But now we're about to lighten things up just a little bit. We're finna lighten things up just the squiggity bit. Because my next song is Niagara Falls. And I love this song. This is the song of the summer. I don't care what nobody says. I think that this song is going to be the song of the summer. Because it feels like summertime. It feels like outside cookouts, barbecues, whatever you want to call them. The charcoal grill smells, smoke in the air, the fucking mosquito repellent, and those little tiki torch thingies, water balloons, fireworks, concrete, freshly mowed grass. It feels like outside. It feels like a little slice of paradise. And it's ironically kind of sort of smack dab in the middle of the album. It's right after Timeless, which Timeless is smack dab in the middle of this album. Once you get to Timeless, you're at the halfway point. So it plays right after Timeless in this album. And it just feels so good. Now, lyrically, we're back on our toxic daddy shit, right? So he said... Toxic daddy is funny. He said, I used to love you, girl, before the sun goes down in Niagara Falls. Your baby daddy been a scrub. Let's keep it hush. Trust me, I know. I remember that you rolled me blunts before we fucked when I was a ghost. I had you up in the St. Regis when it was the Trump. I was a boy. Let's just analyze that real quick. I used to love you before the sun goes down. So this was like a side piece, sideline type of situation. You didn't want nobody to know that we was fooling around. I could care less. I was young, dumb, stupid. Your baby daddy been a scrub. He ain't even worth mentioning. You know what I mean? He ain't even worth my time. He ain't even worth you talking about. I don't give a damn. You don't give a damn. So let's just do what we got to do. Keep it between us. Everything goes copacetic. I remember you would roll me blunts before we fucked when I was a ghost. So the only way that you could fuck me is if you were high, which is very young Abel behavior. I had you up in the St. Regis when it was the Trump, back when I was a boy. So this is a long time ago. Very, very long time ago. Second half of the first verse. Still the kid from the borough. Pull up to the city dolo. You know, you can always reach me. I'm trying to see you with your clothes off. Because I know he really loves you, but you're telling me the next move. Because in your head, you're my baby. You're reliving what we've been through. So now you're just like, you know what? I'm still that guy that you met, you know, all those years ago. And you know that if you need it, all you got to do is call me. I'll come to you. We can keep things just how they were when we were doing it back then. Make it very, very simple. Make it very, very easy. Because you ain't really fucking with your dude like that, but you got to stay with him for whatever reasons. You got to stay with him, blah, 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 whatever. Who cares? It's none of my business. It's none of my concern. What is my concern is what we're going to do once we do link up. So you just let me know, and I'll pull through. Very, very toxic behavior. Oh, God. Okay, verse 2. I used to hold you, girl, before the sun came up. It was dusk till dawn, which I think is a shout out to his Till Dawn song, which is a bonus track on the original trilogy from, I want to say, Thursday. I could be wrong, though. I'll have to come back to that. Your X-Men tried to end your run. You're a shining star. Trust me. I know. Let's stop right there. Your X-Men tried to end your run. The niggas that you was fucking with before you was fucking with me, they just love what you could do for them. I love who I know you could become. I fell in love with your potential. And I knew that you always had this capability to be something greater than what you are right now. But anybody before me just saw you for what you could do from them in that moment. And that was a problem. I would never do that. I would never. Right? Because I got my finger on the pulse every single time. I've done it before. But I never take the credit because you were bound to shine. I was just a spark. And here's why. I couldn't give you a little nudge in that direction, right? I could tell you, oh, you're going to be great. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. I know that I'm right. I know that you could. I know that at some point you are going to be able to put yourself up on a pedestal and be like, this is who I am and none of you niggas can touch me. But you just got to get there. And I can see it. I've seen the vision. I've experienced it myself personally. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I know what it sounds like. All you need is just a little push. I'm the spark. I'm going to get the flame started. You got to feed that shit and keep it going. So, again, let's keep going. Gave your heart just to borrow. Try to help you with the sorrow. You know, you can always reach me because I know you're running on low. And he never really loved you, telling me about his next move. Because in your head, you're my baby. I know who you're really loyal to. So you fell in love with me because I was able to give you that nudge, to give you that spark, to tell you, you got this. Keep going. You can do it. And again, ain't nobody else that you really fucking with like that is really fucking with you like that. And that's why you keep fucking with me like that. And that's why you have it in your head. It doesn't matter what my husband think, what my boyfriend think, what this nigga think, what that nigga think. That's who I'm loyal to. This is the one right here that I'm going to devote my time, energy, and basically myself to. Because he's the only one who believes that I can really do this. So why wouldn't I give him my undivided attention? And toxic niggas will use that against you every time to get you feeling like, you know what, you're right, I can't do this. And There's nothing wrong with that. We're on to track number 4 on my top 5. Oh, I have to listen to this song at least twice a day because it's called Drive. It's called Drive. And man, oh man, when I tell you that this song, let me get a sip of my water real quick. Hold on. When I tell you that this song right here, oh, musically, I think it's very, very different from all of the other songs on the album. It has this weird, like, paddling, like, fla, 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 kind of sound effect with the vocals. I don't really know what the word is for that, but it's like a flutter, but like a long, like a propeller or something. But it's his vocals doing it. He's singing like that. And it's like, you know, it sounds like a chords and chords of people singing in harmony all at once. It's very, I don't want to use the word angelic, but it's very angelic. And it's kind of like this weird, almost hovering above it all feeling. I can't even explain to you how it sounds. You just have to hear it. But in addition to all of that, in addition to these beautiful vocals, this beautiful music, this beautiful idea of what is happening physically and even spiritually, if you want to think about it that deep, because again, we are in the afterlife, right? What he's saying, oh my God. He says, it's the last part that gets me, but I'll have to start at the beginning just to humor you. He says, I don't want to waste your time. Just want to feel the air on my body. And I'll roll the windows down. Don't ever think I'll be this happy. You know I love autonomy because fame is a disease. And then we get into the chorus. I just want to drive. I just want to drive tomorrow. I just want to drive. I just want to drive tomorrow. And I feel like in a relatable sense, you can understand like just wanting to feel something clean, pure, an abundance of it all at once. And when rushing through your car windows as you're driving, maybe, 55, 60 on the interstate or whatever, on like a midsummer evening as the sun's going down, or maybe coming up where it's like on the horizon. So the sky is like orange with a little bit of blue, with a little bit of purple. You got some clouds in there. It's not too bright. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. That is a very blissful feeling. It is a very comforting feeling. It's a very nostalgic feeling. It's a very familiar feeling. And wanting to feel that, in addition to the presence of someone that can just take away everything that you've had to deal with on your own, is exhilarating, right? So we get into the, oh God, we get into the second verse. And I feel the sky falling down on the road. Been precious with my heart. Drive me slow. Just be kind. I'm a child again. And no child deserves suffering. I've been born again. This is what we've been leading up to when we get to, oh my God. And then it goes into, okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I've been born again, which is kind of what he's been finagling with throughout the duration of this album as far as the visuals go. And oh my God, it plays so perfectly to the song that I'm about to analyze next. Let me just get through it. I've been born again. I've been, you know what I'm saying? I've gone through everything that I needed to go through in this life, and I'm ready for the next one. And in the next one, I'm going to be innocent. I'm going to be small. I'm going to be vulnerable. I don't deserve to suffer. I've already been baptized in my fears by the Skeletor shadow people in the corner. Now I'm this vulnerable, innocent thing that only wants to be protected and loved. And oh my God. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me get to the last verse of the song. Please, let me get to the last verse. I don't want to waste your time. Just want to feel the air on my body. I'm going to roll the windows down. Don't ever think I'll be this happy again. You'll always be a part of me. Just turn the key. Just start the car. Just drive. Just drive. I just want to drive. Oh my God. I'm losing it because when I think about what's coming next, it just breaks my fucking heart. Okay, so I trust you. I trust you. And I don't trust a lot of people, but I trust you. You and I have this connection. We have this kind of vibe, this strong, energy that's flowing through both of us simultaneously. And I trust you. Just drive. I trust you. Just go. Take me with you. Oh, if y'all don't listen to any other song, on this album, you have to listen. First of all, this is a great song to drive to. That's why I have to listen to it at least twice a day because I'm always driving. But man, this song is so, I haven't heard anything this beautiful, I don't think, since Until I Bleed Out from After Hours. And that song is beautiful. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like that, but it gets that same reaction out of me. It's just, oh my God, this is beautiful. Now we got to get to, oh my goodness. Now we have to get to Red Terror. Now, when I first heard Red Terror, and first of all, the song is called Red Terror, which is terrifying, right? When I first heard this, I was like, wait a damn minute. Did this nigga pull a Drake and have a kid and not tell nobody about it? But then I started listening to it some more. And I was like, wait, he didn't have a kid. He is the kid. So, Joe, just bear with me. Humor me for a second. Oh, my God. This song makes me cry. Okay. He says, "You're not heavy. I rocked you to sleep. I hold you for hours long. Never heavy. I won't let you weep. Hush, my child. You're mine. All my life, I try." I said, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute. He didn't have a child. He is the child. This song, and this is why it makes me cry. This song is from the perspective of his mother talking about him when he was a baby. We'll move on to verse 2. "You were never heavy, light just like a feather. I ran from the terror. The ground was red from the lead. You were never scary. I knew you were special. My only intention, alone I left to the west. Then moved to the city. 8 months we were pregnant. You came out so precious. In the snow you would grow. Your mama loves you. You'll never be alone." This motherfucker said, "You were never heavy. I never saw you as a burden. It never crossed my mind that you would derail my life plans or hold me back or put too much weight on me. You were never heavy. I was excited about you. I was looking forward to bringing you into this world with me, but I was afraid, not of you, but of what was happening around you." Keep in mind, his mom's is Ethiopian, from Ethiopia. She moved from Ethiopia to Toronto to protect him from what was going on there. War, destruction, chaos, death, terrifying things to have to bring a child into. Could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine? Alone I left to the west. I had to get you out of there. I had to. You were the only thing that mattered to me at that point moving forward. And whether or not I was going with support or not, I knew that I had to get you out of there. I had to get you out. 8 months we were pregnant. He was premature, you guys. He birthed him at 8 months. Oh my God. Which technically isn't premature, I guess. It's not, it's not the full term. But anyway, I digress. 8 months we were pregnant. You came out so precious. You came out so precious. I saw you and I fell in love with you. I saw you and I immediately fell in love with you. My baby. In the snow, you would grow. Your mama loves you. You'll never be alone. Oh my fucking God. And then we get into the chorus of this sad ass song. Hush, my child, you're mine. All my life I try to keep you warm when I go. You're still my child. Don't cry. And then while that's going on, he's in the background screaming, crying. I'm sorry, mama. I'm sorry, mama. I feel so cold without you. I feel so cold without you. And it's just like, God damn. So when you think about the sacrifices that were made throughout the course of his life, just for him to end up in a position where he feels like he lost every part of his self to maintain this character, this persona, this job and career that he chose for himself. Because you have to keep in mind, these came from, the scrub part of Toronto, doing hardcore drugs with his friends outside of some shaggy, rinky-dink, top floor apartment in some random ass person's house, sleeping off of mattresses and sleeping with girls and drinking and doing all this crazy stuff on a daily basis. He probably never would have imagined that his life would be where it is right now. But getting from that point to this point, and every terrible, terrible thing that he may have done to himself or to people that he quote unquote loved or actually maybe really did love, and then having to go back and look his mom in the face and tell her, I did these horrible things to these people and they were nothing but kind and good and genuine and honest and caring to me. And I have to deal with that. And she got to sit there and look at him and still say, you know what? It's okay. I still love you. You're still my son. I'm still very proud of you, because look at what you've done. Look at what you've accomplished. Look at what you've been managed to do with your career, with your life, with the people that you've touched, with the millions of fans that you've managed to, gain over the years. I'm still so proud of you. But he's looking at himself like, you don't have anything to be proud of. I've fucked up so much. I've done so many terrible things. And you still look at me and tell me that you still love. Like, come on. Oh my God, this all makes me want to cry. You have to look at me and tell me that you still love me, that you still support me, that you're still going to be there for me regardless. Even when you're gone, you're still going to be there for me regardless. I'm not going to know what to do without you. Like, oh my God, this all makes me cry every time I hear it. This all makes me cry. So yes, he's the child. He's the child. He's the child. Those are my top 5. And for obvious reasons, these 5 songs have touched my soul in ways that I can't explain. Now, before I close out with this particular episode, I want to hit a couple of things. Just a couple of really quick hot takes. Not hot takes, but like hot topics, if you will. So the obvious hits that have come from this album, of course, Timeless, Sao Paulo, and The Abyss. I can't pronounce that correctly, and I apologize if I am mispronouncing it. I was never really a fan of Sao Paulo. I wasn't crazy about... I'm not really big on music that I can't understand what people are saying. So, and it goes really, really quickly. It's very, very fast paced, and I'm just not really big on like the quickness of it all. I do like the transition. It's very, good dance music. And to be honest, another reason why I wasn't really sure how I was going to feel about this album when it came out was when Timeless first came out. I wasn't really a big fan of that either. But it took a minute. And I was, driving in the car. I think I just heard it playing on the radio, just a snippet of it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go back and listen to it. And then I listened to it and I was like, this is actually a pretty good song. So it grew on me. Slowly but surely it grew on me. And now it's one of my favorite songs off of the album. And then, of course, The Abyss. The beautiful thing about The Abyss is that it brings back Lana Del Rey, which the collab between The Weeknd and Lana Del Rey is always a good one. The two of them are like fire and ice. They clash, but they go together so beautifully, so perfectly, so effortlessly. And she just adds these insane angelic vocals right at the end of the song that just kind of ties everything into itself. And it's a beautiful track list, honestly. And then last but not least, we have the Hidden Gems, which are songs that are just good. They are just good songs. They didn't make it to my top 5, but they're very, very close. They cut it very, very close. One of them, one of them is called Opening Night. This has it's very, very quick too. It's like a very quick song. It's not a lot going on with it lyrically, but it's a lot going on with it musically. It's a very much I want to move around, get up and dance type thing. And it feels good to just listen to. Another one that I put on here is Giving Up on Me. This has Future in it. I'm not crazy about Future. If you already know, you already know. I'm not crazy on Future. This song, however, is a really, really good one because it transitions twice. So the intro, or the first little bit of it, is what people would describe as... When people talk about The Weeknd's music, people often say that it's like haunted strip club music. And that's literally what this sounds like in the beginning. It sounds very much like a haunted strip club. And I can't describe it any other way but that. That's what it sounds like. And then the second transition, it kind of slows down just a squiggity bit. And then the end is like this beautiful piano ballad, which comes out of fucking nowhere. Take Me Back to LA is another hidden gem. This song lyrically has a lot going on. I think I do want to highlight some of the lyrics because ironically, on After Hours, he has a song called Escape from LA. And on this song, he has a song called Take Me Back to LA. So really quick, I'm going to dive into the verses. First verse, take me back to LA where the sun would kiss on my face. Now the sunshine tracks my skin. I stayed too long. Take me back to a time where my blood never tasted like wine. My love could feel a sea, but now I can't even feel the breeze. So I'm in a state now, I'm in a position now where everything around me is so unfamiliar and it's uncomfortable and I don't like it. And that ties into the pre-chorus. And it hurts when I think about the nights we would always shout, my voice cracking when we scream, you scream, we scream. And I watched while you wiped your eyes, and then I learned to cover mine. And that's when I realized it's better when I'm by myself. So this state that I'm in right now with you doing this, doing that, it's broken both of us. We're both devastated. We're both sad. We're both miserable. This isn't going to work. I'm better when I'm alone. Now, keep that in mind, because second verse is, take me back to a place where the snow would fall on my face, and I miss my city lights. I left too young. Take me back to a time the trophies that I had would still shine. Now that I have nothing real left, I want my soul. So now he's talking about Toronto. Anytime he talks about snowy places and stuff like that, my city, he's always talking about Toronto. That place versus this place where I'm at now, which is probably back in Los Angeles, is unfamiliar, uncomfortable. I don't feel safe here. I don't feel like I can be vulnerable here. I want to go home, right? And it hurts when I think about the days I would tell myself it's okay for me to scream, to scream, to scream. I put my hands over the fire and see if I can still cry. And that's when I realized that I hate it when I'm by myself. Oh my goodness. This song right here is beautiful because it's so conflicting. It's like the grass isn't greener on the other side type of metaphor. Like you look over there and you see this lifestyle that you want, that you've had maybe, and you understand what that meant for you when you had it. And it was so peaceful and everything was so easy and this was so nice and everything was so perfect. And then when shit wasn't perfect no more, you started to regret every decision that you made. So now you're backing out of it. Like, I can't do this anymore. I would rather be alone. Well, now you're alone. Now you don't have anything but what you used to have. The things that you used to find value in. Your trophies, your accomplishments, your plaques, whatever. And you're miserable. Those materialistic things don't matter to you anymore because they never mattered in the first place. They only mattered because someone else validated them. And thereby validating you. And now you just feel empty. You feel hollow. You feel like there's nothing left for you as a person to take with you. And you just realize at that moment that you'd rather have the chaos and destruction. At least you have the company of someone who loves you. But you gotta deal with that shit too. This is a really good song. And then the last one on my hidden gems list is Without a Warning. This is a song that, oh my gosh, if he performed this live at his last show, I would probably pass out because, oh my goodness, this song is so, I just want to skip to one particular part. He says, and this is toward the end of the song, so I'm kind of not spoiling it, but it's, Lord, I can't even tell you what it is. So This is the second verse of the song. We're right smack dab in the middle of the song. So I just want to read this part. It's the second verse. I don't suppose tomorrow's coming. I'ma follow through this time so the press might be loving. I'm stuck in a cycle. I just want to feel life from the morning. I should have been sober, but I can't afford to be boring. Now, that particular line right there is very important to me because a lot of people, and I just seen this on TikTok like a couple of days ago, a lot of people would argue that The Weeknd made his music best when he was strung out on whatever drugs he was taking when he was in his youth. I'm talking late teens, early to mid 20s. Because at some point he decided to go, California sober and just smoke weed and drink a little bit every once in a while, but no more pills or nothing like that. And a lot of people would argue that the music that he made during the time he was strung out was his best music. Because after like Starboy, he got really into like the pop stuff, and a lot of people weren't really feeling that, mainly because they weren't listening, because those songs, nothing was wrong with that music at all. But he's not the first artist that people would argue, oh, he was better when he was making music like this. Like, you got to keep in mind, too much of that shit will kill you. Too much of anything will kill you. But that shit particularly will absolutely kill you. So at what risk are you willing to take your favorite artist to kill themselves just to make music that you deem acceptable when all you got to do is go back and listen to the music that you crave so badly? I've had plenty of artists who made music that I didn't like and I just didn't listen to it. There's a lot of music by The Weeknd, as a matter of fact, that I don't personally particularly like. I just don't listen to it. It's not that hard. If your favorite artist makes an album that you don't like, you're not obligated to listen to that album on repeat just because they're your favorite artist. You can admit, oh, well, that album wasn't really all that good, so I'm not really going to listen to it. There's nothing wrong with that. But saying that you would rather have an artist strung out on hardcore drugs or have a drinking problem or be in abusive situations or whatever the case may be, just so they can continue to make music that you deem acceptable is insane to me. So when he said, I should have been sober, but I can't afford to be boring, it's like he knows that that's what people think. He's well aware that people see him as more valuable when he can't seem to find the value in himself, when he's at his lowest. When you're at your lowest, you'll do things that will hurt your body detrimentally, like hardcore drugs, heavy drinking, sleeping around with a bunch of random people, getting yourself in dangerous situations where you have to either fight your way out or, just succumb to whatever consequences happen. But who wants to live their life like that? And at some point, your level of celebrity won't allow you to live your life like that. So knowing that, being well aware of it, being self-aware of it, and using it in a song to basically tell everybody, look, I know what you want from me. If I give it to you, though, that'll be the end of me. And that's probably another reason why, and this is like the second to the last song on the album, too. Knowing that and going into it with that mentality is exhausting. And it's probably another reason why The Weeknd has to come to an end so that Abel can live his life the way that he wants to. And I know it's kind of weird to use, two different personas for the same person, but I noticed that a lot of celebrities will do that. Their stage name is just their character. They aren't really that person in their everyday life. Only a small few people are who they are on stage, off of stage. The Weeknd is not one of those people. The Weeknd is The Weeknd. Abel is a very, very, very different person. And that's been proven in interviews, photo shoots, behind the scenes footage for, music videos or whatever. You'll see it. And I think that moving forward with this transition into Abel from The Weeknd, the whole world is going to be aware of just how different those two people are. But that's just my opinion. But in a nutshell, that was Hurry Up Tomorrow by The Weeknd. His final installment as The Weeknd before he becomes Abel. And we are only, moments away from seeing what that looks like. And he already has his tour dates set. He's coming to Nashville. Thank goodness. I cannot wait because I'm buying my ticket as soon as I get a chance to. I'm going to go to the show. I'm going to have a great time. And we're going to see him off on his final farewell, his final tour, and it's going to be great. And hopefully, if he does continue to pursue, whether it's music, whether it's acting, whether it's producing, whether it's directing, whether it's whatever, that he will continue to just make the great art that he's always made from the beginning. But that was just my little 2 cents. I like to thank you all for tuning in. I absolutely appreciate it. And until next time, I will speak to you all later.